And we'd like to welcome you to our travel call, our lunch club, where Lou takes us on a trip to a new country or a place each and every week. So Lou will be taking us on a trip to Madagascar this week on our Islands Month journey. So Lou, without further ado, the floor is yours. And once again, thanks so much for presenting the session to us today.
Well, thanks, Alex, and thank you for doing the heavy lifting and creating these presentations. So hopefully everybody can see that here.
Yeah, I
And
think
Alex, I might need your tech support from time to time. So what's interesting about Madagascar is that we do these trips to Africa every once in a while. And one of our guys, we almost went to Madagascar this year, but I said, well, that's a little out there. So I'd like to learn a little bit about it myself. I've never been there. Fascinating place. So let's get this show on the road. So here's our agenda for today. And as we all can see, we will see where it is, all about it, and some trivia. So let's get this show on the road. I probably got to move fast since we talked about the pumpkin patch. So where is Madagascar exactly? Well, let's see if we can do it here. So Alex, let's see. Is there a hot button here? Is that you have to click that? Well, look at
Yes,
that. You
Lou.
got things laid out for me. Good job. Okay, so how do we get to Madagascar? Where is Madagascar for that matter? Well, let's go to Dulles Airport because if it's some distant place, we probably got to go to Dulles Airport. So we'll go to Dulles Airport. It's easy to find because it's so big. There it is. And then we're going to take off and we're going to go way, way, way high up. And we're going to head, I think we're going to actually head north because the Earth is skinnier on top. I'm going to fly over the North Atlantic and we're going to go down. So go to Madagascar. You probably are going to have to take probably maybe Turkish Airlines. They probably fly there. So you're going to go over the top of Europe. You land in Istanbul, Turkey, and Turkish Airlines flies all over. And then we're going to take a second plane way down the coast of Africa here. I'm going to zoom out. This is so far. Way down here to Madagascar. Now, I'm going to tip my hand here because I don't even know of the first city in Madagascar to go that we would land at. I don't know if anybody in this call knows, but we'd be landing in one of these cities, that's for sure. And if anybody wants to search on it, maybe it's this Antananarivo because it's highlighted in Google. Okay, well that's a little bit about Madagascar. And now let's see if I can get back to the presentation from here. Alex, do I just exit out? Is that
No,
how I do it?
the slide is in your tab. It's the next tab from the one you're working on, Lou.
The next
So
tab for the
go
one
up
I'm
to
working.
go up to all the tabs. You see the slides icon, right?
Oh, I see. Okay, I got all these drop downs in here. I got to get rid of them. I see it. Oh, thank you, Alex. Okay, so that's where Madagascar is. So let's talk a little bit about Madagascar. So let's have a quick overview of what Madagascar is all about. And so, Alex, are these slides here?
Look, yeah, those are different pictures with captions, Lou. So go down the screen a bit, and there's some captions there. So there's some
Okay. Oh,
pictures.
great, great. Okay, so yes, so as we can see from the captions, Madagascar's got some famous animals on it. The lemur. Remember that show that had a lemur? I forgot the name of it. And then they only live in Madagascar, which is not surprising because it's out in the middle of the ocean there, and it's not easy for animals to migrate. What else does it have? That's a pretty city. So that is the city that we found. It's Antananarivo. So that was the city that we saw over there. And that's a pretty city, very colorful. Sure like to go see that. And these are the baobab trees. It says baobab, but everybody in Africa I talk to calls it baobab. Baobab. This is the iconic tree of Africa. Stores a lot of water in that trunk, and that's what it allows it to survive very, very dry periods. So Madagascar is very famous for its baobab trees. All right. Let's see if I can get back. Anything else
There's some
you want
more
to share, Alex?
information. There's some more info, Lou. Go down the page.
Go down a page.
Yeah,
You
so
mean go back?
go back to the link and keep there's some more information.
Okay.
What's the
Oh, I
national
see.
tree in
I see.
Madagascar?
Okay, so here's some facts about Madagascar. So we can see it's Republic of Madagascar. It's a we talked about its capital. It's got a lot of folks in it, 25 million.
That's a
Uh,
lot.
yeah, that's a lot for an island nation. The language I never heard of Malagasy. But also French. So that's a good read. That's tough to navigate around in Africa if they don't speak your language. I've been in that situation before, and it can be a little tough. Uh, Money, I've never heard of this money before. The Ari is pretty big, 226,000 square miles. That's a big area. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, and so it's got a lot of stuff on it. And to give you an idea of size, so Texas is a big state. It's about the same size as Texas. It's in the Indian Ocean, as you can see, and then the Mozambique Channel. That's interesting. That's the channel between Madagascar and Africa, the continent of Africa. So that's interesting. And then it's near Mauritius. So we went there last week. So that was interesting. And we also learned that the capital is at the center of the island. And wow, look at that. It's got a high mountain, 9,000 feet, 9,400 feet. So it's got some high mountains in it. And again, look at that beautiful picture of that capital. That is a pretty, pretty capital. It certainly is surrounded by mountains, as you can see. Um, so the country, let's see here. So the country's population lives in the eastern half of the island. That's interesting. The eastern half. So that's, as you're looking at it from above, that would be on the right-hand side. And then, but people still live in the high plains. And this is interesting. It has a youthful population with over 60% of its residents under 25. Now, let me share with you that on every country that I've ever been to in Africa, there are a lot of young people. You can Google it, and you can see almost categorically country after country after country has these really large percentages of young people. And I think that's attributable to a couple things. One, that in some cases the medical care is not as good, so the older folks don't live as long there. There's also been a bit of a population boom, people having a lot of kids because they've gotten over some hard times. And in some cases, there's been wars in the past, which are no longer taking place, which reduce the adult population. So that's interesting. In fact, it's actually pretty marked when you go there how many young people there are. Now that I think about it, they're just all over the place. Okay, so let's go on a little farther down, and so 90% is covered by is of the plants and animals and aren't found anywhere else in the world. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. 90%. So
That's
again,
called being endemic. They're endemic to Madagascar.
so they're all, I guess, because it was an island, right, Alexander?
Yeah, it's an amazing place.
And it still has lush rainforests, dry deserts, grassy plains. And then lemur, Alex, that's more your generation. What was that famous show that had the lemur on it? What was the name of that show? My
Yeah,
wife was there.
I don't know. I think it was Zaboomafoo, but they actually
Yes, that
that.
was it. Let
Yeah,
me ask
they
my
have
wife.
that. Uh-huh. And the Madagascar movies, the lemur, he's real popular in the animated show and the movies. So yeah,
So,
they're quite an amazing species.
so for your generation, Alexander, this is a very iconic animal, isn't it? The
There is.
Zaboomafoo, that was a famous show.
Yeah, it was in its run.
Yeah. Is that what you watched when you were a kid?
I mean, PBS was everything, so yeah, I loved that show.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to talk to some of the folks on this call. Like, what shows did you watch when you were a little kid? Like, I know Batman was popular when I was a kid. Just came out on TV. Um,
When I was a little kid, there wasn't anything to watch. No TV.
no TV. There you go. There you go.
It was the radio, the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, but there's a lot of great animals, so if you keep reading through, there's just a lot of great information there, Lou.
The Howdy
Yeah.
Doody show.
Howdy Doody show, right?
Yeah. The Mickey
Howdy
Mouse
doody.
show. And
Yeah.
in the evening it was Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best.
Right.
Oh, I forgot about those shows.
Mm-hmm.
How about My Three Sons? Ed McMurray.
Yeah, My
remember
Three
that?
My three
Sons.
sons,
Thank
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
Lou.
Do you all remember the theme song? Da, na, na, na,
Yeah.
na, 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 na. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, we got to get back on topic here. Okay, so look at all the other animals they have. They have the blue whale. Oh, I'd be amazed to see a blue whale. Oh, it's a pygmy blue whale. Humpback whales, spider tortoises. I've never heard of any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be a fascinating place to go to see all these different animals. And then the baobab tree. I've heard that Madagascar has the best baobab trees in the entire world, even though they're not only in Madagascar. They grow all over. There was a lot in Senegal. Remember we went to Senegal
Senegal, yes.
last year? Yeah. So there's deforestation and poaching going on, which is sad. You know, I did a story on poaching. I did a story on the extinction of not the extinction, but the problem with elephants in Africa. And you know, there was so many of them had been hunted and killed for the ivory. And what's interesting is that there's this a lot of the local tribes are the ones that are doing the poaching, but they do it because this market was created for the ivory, and in order to put food on their own tables, they're in a situation where they have to satisfy this market. So, you know, getting rid of that market for ivory is so critical. All right. So anyway, so there's the money, there's the flag, and how about the government? So it's a semi-presidential government. Not sure what that means, but it says it elects a president who in turn appoints a prime minister to put together a cabinet. Interesting. And then it was created in 1992. The prime minister is in charge of legislative and judicial branches. It says 80% of the economy is fueled by agriculture industries. So that's not surprising. That's not surprising. That's very true in most countries in Africa. Very agricultural oriented. And then, oh, this is interesting. The humans have only lived in Madagascar for 1,300 years. That's not very long, especially when you consider that the human species originated in Tanzania, which is just across the strait from it. And so the human species itself dates back millions of years, you know, the couple million years anyway, or 200,000 years, or whatever the number is. And yet people didn't get to Madagascar until very recently. So that is really interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some videos for some more history, but I think that's really interesting as well. So you'll learn
Yeah.
more in just a few.
But you know,
Now, Lou, let me ask you now. The president lets the prime minister put his cabinet together. So what does he do? I mean,
It says it right.
Yeah.
It says it right there.
yeah, the president appoints a prime minister to put the cabinet together. So, said he just advises the president. But okay,
Maybe
right.
it's sort of like You think Brenda like the king of England?
Oh, I don't know about them. I don't know about
It says the president
Sort of like that
coordinates
kind of government, maybe.
ceremonies. So they're not a figurehead, but they're just the representative at different
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like it's different with our president. Our president appoints the cabinet and the
Right.
cabinet advises him. You know, that's the opposite. He's appointing a prime minister and they advise him. Well,
What do you think of that, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, the president is really, I could see he'd be vulnerable to, like he doesn't really have control of the situation kind of situation. I would be a little nervous if I was that president.
I would
My,
too.
my prime minister might try to overthrow me or kill me or something.
Hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel real comfortable with that. All right, well, I think we're just about at the end. We've got a lot of nice pictures here. So, Alexander, let's navigate back. There we are.
I hope you like the information. It's a little different.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So here's the capital right here that we saw. Here's where most of the population lives on the eastern side. That's a very straight coast. Look at that. It's very straight.
And they said the planes land in the capital.
Okay.
Yeah, the natives call it Tanja for short. I guess they can't pronounce it. I guess they have difficulty pronouncing it too.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, here we go. Let's jump on a video, get a little history. Here we go.
Madagascar, a country which is well known for its incredible biodiversity, actually has a history that only began 2,300 years ago. At that time, humans came to the giant island by shipping over the Indic Ocean. They came to Madagascar from East Africa as well as the Middle East, but especially from Southeast Asia. The Austronesians came from Indonesia and brought new plants and animals to the island, including rice, bananas, taro, chickens, and pigs. These foodstuffs would later prove fundamental to the diet of Madagascar's population. Over time, Madagascar developed various ethnic groups and kingdoms, each crafting its own cultural identity. This created a diverse and multifaceted Malagasy society. Madagascar was a place of cultural exchange and trade in the centuries following its settlement. Various kingdoms, including the powerful Kingdom of Merina, emerged and grew into trade centers in the region. The Kingdom of Merina, under King Radama I, began establishing trade relations with European nations such as Britain and France. The island became a vital trade hub for spices, gemstones, and much more. But in 1886, Madagascar's history took a dramatic turn when France declared war on the comparatively weak Madagascar. After a whole decade, Madagascar was officially colonized by French colonists. This colonial period brought significant social, economic, and political changes. The colonial era lasted until independence in 1960 when Madagascar regained its sovereignty. Although colonial rule is over, it left deep imprints on Madagascar's history and culture, which are still felt today.
Did he say 1960? That's recent. Or did he say 1916?
1960.
Wow, 1960. That is really
Yeah,
recent.
1960.
Wow. Well, I guess I think Kenya got its independence from England in the 60s also. 1960 what? 3 or something? I don't know if anybody has Google.
Somewhere around in there.
Yeah, so these European powers really stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's see what we got. The next thing here. Hold on.
It was 63, Lou.
It was 63 for Kenya?
For Kenya, uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's see if I can get back to it. Uh-oh. I lose my... There, oh, I didn't. Okay, well, here we got another version of history. Let's get that one going.
Salama, everyone, and welcome to Mr. This is Africa, and here's Madagascar. Now let's go, shall we? One of the largest islands in the world, the strange and wonderful country of Madagascar is also one of the most unique. Though next door to mainland Africa, its people have significant amounts of Austronesian DNA from Southeast Asia, and their language of Malagasy also originates from that region, most closely related to Manyan, spoken in parts of Borneo. When and why exactly Malay peoples ended up in East Africa is not known for certain. Don't say UFOs History Channel, please. But there they arrived, and there they farmed, and there they encountered magnificent megafauna, which is to say, big animals, that, unfortunately, were hunted to extinction. Later, around the year 1000, Africans from the mainland began migrating to the island. Years passed, and pastoralism and agriculture provided the people's sustenance, and trade began with seafaring outsiders, such as the Arabs and later on the Portuguese. Meanwhile, the Malagasy had separated themselves into different tribes, ruled over by chieftains. Swishing ahead, we find the island increasingly eyed by the French, and also frequented by pirates like William Kidd and Thomas Tew, who was killed by a cannonball. The Mirna people of central Madagascar began strengthening from the late 18th century under King Andriana Nampoin I Mirna, who set out and conquered lands from rival tribes. Upon his death in 1810, he was succeeded by his son, Radama I, who inherited his father's thirst for conquest and captured more lands, eventually bringing 2/3 of Madagascar under Mirna rule. In realizing his ambitions, Radama was aided by the British, who allied with him to help keep the French away. Radama modernized his forces by adopting European military technology and tactics. British influence also persuaded him to put an end to the slave trade in the region and to spread Christianity, education, and literacy among the people. Upon his death from alcoholism aged 35, he was succeeded by his wife, Rana Valna I, a rigid traditionalist who was far less welcoming of outside influence in her homeland. She outlawed Christianity, implemented forced labor for various building schemes, and expanded her domains. Her strict decrees and isolationist policies were annulled by her son, Radama II, who reopened the kingdom to Western ways. Angered over the absolutism of the monarch, Radama was overthrown by his prime minister. A system of power sharing between the crown and PM was introduced, with the prime minister Reinilja Rivani. This was quite literal in his case, as he was married to 3 queens in a row. He further modernized the state, built this palace, and proved an able diplomat. But political chess isn't effective when the other player doesn't care about the rules. The other player here was France, and as we remember, they had eyeballed the island for some time, and now they decided to take it. And they did, after 2 wars of conquest that ended in 1895. After crushing a rebellion, the French set about Frenching up the place, promoting their language and education. They also built a railway and ended the practice of slavery on the island. Now, during World War II, France was taken over by the Nazis, and its Madagascar colony bowed to the French puppet Vichy regime.
Yeah,
The British did not want the enemy, namely Germany's ally Japan, using Madagascar as a base to attack their fleets in the Indian Ocean, and went out to capture it, which they did. Now, the war tarnished France's reputation, and the people of Madagascar rose up against them in 1947. The revolt was brutally quashed by the French, and many thousands of Malagasy were killed in the process. Villages burned, prisoners tortured, all sorts of horrors. By the 1950s, it was clear to France that things had to change, and that colonialism was on the way out. Madagascar gained full independence in 1960, but everything didn't magically get better. The first president was kicked out for being too pro-French. The next leader was also kicked out, and the guy that followed him was shot dead in less than a week. In 1975, socialist Didier Ratsirac took power, but his system was not successful, and the country ran out of money and things got pretty bad. In 2002, the country received a more effective leader in Marc Ravalomanana, who oversaw multiple improvements and reforms, but the country still suffered immense wealth inequality, and many lives were untouched by the amendments in other spheres. After furious protests, he resigned. Madagascar today ranks low in the Human Development Index, meaning things are not great for many of its people, and we hope that this beautiful, resource-rich nation finds a way out of its present troubles and has happier days ahead. So good luck to Madagascar, but as for me, it's bye for now. Bye-bye!
Well, that was pretty interesting. You know, I had read an article, actually it came out recently in the last few months, about how the people of the Andes in South America have Austronesian DNA. Austronesian DNA. That's the same area where they come. The Madagascar has Austronesian DNA. You know, that's somewhere in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, near Vietnam. So those people, those Austronesians, were some serious seafaring folk. I mean, they colonized. They went everywhere. and we're just now realizing that the first people our history book said Columbus discovered the New World, first European to get there. Of course, the Native Americans were there already, but then we learned no, it was the Vikings who were there in the 1300s or 1200s, and we proved that that's true also. But they never spread their DNA in the country. I guess they never married the Native Americans. But now we're discovering that the Austronesians actually were there before everybody. Like around 500 AD, they were in the Andes, like in Chile, which we also visited. And they did leave their DNA in the Chileans. They did marry the Chilean people. Isn't that interesting? Look, Austronesians get around. Okay. Enough of that. So let's learn about Madagascar today. Here we go.
Welcome to Madagascar! It's the world's 4th largest island and one of the most fascinating places I've ever been. 230,000 square miles of tropical landscape. A paradise for wildlife lovers, home to more than half the world's chameleons and 90% of lemurs, these cute little monkey guys.
I'm getting kissed by a lemur right now in Madagascar.
Many other species in this country are found nowhere else on Earth, thanks to the island being undisturbed by humans for so long. In fact, the country was first settled as late as 500 AD, which makes this, and this older. Today, some 26.2 million people reside in Madagascar, and as I have seen by the look on their faces, life is not so easy for them. Over 90% of citizens live in extreme poverty, making less than $2 per day.
Only 4 countries in the world have a lower GDP per capita than Madagascar,
whose economy is largely dependent on the farming of rice, tea, cotton, and dairy. Many other jobs can be seen right on the side of the dirt road, as they are engulfed in horrific air pollution.
I have so much ash in my eye
that's really hard to breathe.
As I've discovered, there are 3 major reasons why Madagascar is so poor.
A. It's isolated off the southeastern coast of Africa. B. Years and years of political instability and corruption. And C. A volatile climate of intense tropical cyclones. Daily life isn't very convenient for them either.
Taking the local bus in Madagascar. You brought your car stereo? Is too scared someone's gonna steal it?
Yes. I noticed everyone on the streets of Antananarivo working so hard, but I was itching to see what life is like in the rural areas. So my 4 new friends and I hopped in a car and headed far out of the city to a village called Talata. It's a small settlement in the middle of nowhere. We spent an hour walking around the entire place, and what I saw was people just scraping by to survive, selling anything and everything they can to make a buck.
What's in here?
They're afraid of foreigners always.
She's afraid of foreigners?
Yes.
I'm a nice person.
Things like the internet, toilets, and hot water are few and far between.
Okay, Ali is taking me through the village, through the marketplace, and we're interviewing some people to get their daily life stories. What is it? What is it called? Is it an animal? Is it beef, chicken, pork?
It's rice.
Oh, it's rice.
Rice and peanuts.
It looks like blood of an animal. It's like peanuts. Does he have a family?
Yes, he has.
How many kids?
Four children.
Okay.
I asked how much he gets paid, and he said $3 per day. Is it enough to survive here?
It's more than enough for his family.
So when the bus stops here, they rush to sell them.
Yes, they catch the car.
What is he selling?
Garlic and onion.
How many years has he been selling garlic?
40 years. He is already 60 years old and more, so he cannot do another job, and he is willing to sell garlic every day than searching another work to do.
Could you imagine spending the last 40 years selling only garlic? Then I came across this guy selling secondhand electronics.
He is not caring about how much he is making every day. It's just about our children, sending them school.
How many kids does he support?
5 children.
5?
Yes.
But it's not only the impoverished who are suffering. My friends who are not poor and are studying in university don't have it as easy as you think.
I study sociology at the University of Antananarivo. We have Wi-Fi, but it's expensive. We only have access to Facebook and Wikipedia.
That's it?
That's it.
His daily budget is $2.
Covers my transport, food, and
After seeing what I've seen so far in Madagascar, I am reminded to appreciate the life I live. Let this be a reminder for you not to take anything for granted and always be thankful because you and I cannot choose where we are born. I'm Drubinski, and if you like my travel videos, please click subscribe and join me as I plan to visit every country in the world.
Wow, that guy was pretty good. What do y'all think?
That was good, but the situation there is just so sad. And to survive on $2 or $3 a day.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the lady said it was more than enough to feed his children. So I guess the cost of living down there is real low. He's able to provide for his children.
Well, it's definitely not high like it is here.
No.
Yeah.
No. And they probably don't eat like we eat either. They probably ain't eating prime rib and roast beef and lamb chops and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And from her perspective, that was more than enough, but it's far less than what we could possibly
Right,
imagine.
what we are used to here.
Yeah.
We couldn't survive.
No.
Can you imagine selling garlic for 40 years?
Oh my God.
Oh,
I hate to
Lord.
imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You wouldn't do nothing
it's
but
just
survive.
skin, clothes everywhere. But for 40 years selling nothing but garlic.
Right.
Oh my God.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, the guy, he's right. We got to be thankful for what we have. There are folks much worse off than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Amen.
Wow.
And if you ever decide to venture to that part of the world, maybe not Madagascar, but maybe somewhere around there, it really is very inexpensive. When we were in Tanzania last spring, we were spending $8 a day for our hotel room and $2 a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, everything, $10 total. It's just really inexpensive.
Yeah.
It just costs a lot of money to get there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's continue on here.
Oh,
Thank you, Alex.
go to the previous video. You skipped a video. So
Did I right here? This one?
to the left. One more.
One more?
There you go.
Oh, ooh, this one looks good. Diversity
Madagascar is an Eden-like garden of riches filled with a diversity of life and geography unequaled anywhere else on Earth. Madagascar, an island nation in the Indian Ocean off the southeastern coast of Africa, is the 4th largest island in the world. The island is home to 5% of the world's plant and animal species, more than 80% of which are indigenous to Madagascar. Madagascar's long isolation from the neighboring continents has resulted in a unique mix of plants and animals, many found nowhere else on Earth. Some ecologists refer to Madagascar as the 8th continent. The first settlers of Madagascar appear to have come from Asia rather than Africa around 700 AD. Madagascar's population of 17 million plus is predominantly of mixed Asian and African origin. DNA research shows that the Malagasy are half Malaysian and half East African, although some Arab, Indian, and European influence is present along the coastal areas. Research also suggests that the island was uninhabited until Malaysian settlers arrived about 1,500 years ago. About 45% of the Malagasy are Christian, divided almost evenly between Catholics and Protestants. The first Malagasy brought the food crops that they had grown in Southeast Asia with them. And today, the agricultural regions, with their endless rice paddies, look as if they belong in Asia rather than Africa. In Madagascar, there is a unique and very interesting connection between the rice fields and the making of brick. During the rice growing season, the fields are flooded with water and rice is grown. During the dry season, clay silt, left behind by the floodwaters, is removed, formed, and baked into brick for the building of their homes. Much of the country moves around on the backs and heads of the Malagasy. Due to the cost of imported machinery, much of the moving of dirt and products is done by manual labor or by animals.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
They painted a different picture, though. Don't want to do that again. All right, let's see if we can venture on now. We've already been there, right? Let's venture on. Whoops, I got to go back. I got to go way back.
One more. There you go, Lou.
There we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, this looks interesting. Well, that's interesting. Now, Alice, when you research that, is it drag racing popular there?
I'm not 100% sure. I just found that video and I thought it was just something different to showcase. It's still a really beautiful land, and their setting. I mean, it looked like everyone was having fun. But they have they have a drag strip. That's what it's called. And I see it here, and there's quite a few results. So it's really, I thought it was interesting.
Well, hey, let's get into the facts here.
Welcome to 20 fascinating facts about Madagascar you probably didn't know. Without further ado, let's begin. Madagascar is the world's fourth largest island, located off the eastern coast of Africa in the Indian Ocean. It is known for its incredible biodiversity, with more than 90% of its wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. Madagascar is home to approximately 200,000 species, including lemurs, which are unique to the island. Lemurs are the most famous residents of Madagascar and are considered the world's most endangered group of mammals. The baobab tree, also known as the upside-down tree, can be found in Madagascar. It is known for its distinctive shape with a swollen trunk and branches that resemble roots. Madagascar is often referred to as the eighth continent due to its distinct ecosystems and biological richness. The country has a diverse landscape, including rainforests, deserts, beaches, and limestone karsts. Madagascar has its own unique musical genre called Salagy, which combines elements of African, Arab, and Western music. The Avenue of the Baobabs is a famous landmark in Madagascar, lined with towering baobab trees that are over 800 years old. The island is home to the world's smallest chameleon, the Bruchisia micra, which can fit on the tip of a finger. Madagascar is famous for its vanilla production and is one of the world's largest exporters of vanilla beans. The country has 18 different ethnic groups, each with its own language, customs, and traditions. Tsingy de Bemaraha Strict Nature Reserve in Madagascar is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its unique limestone formations and rich biodiversity. Madagascar has stunning beaches and turquoise waters, particularly in areas like Nosy Be and Île Sainte Marie. The country has a traditional sport called morangi, which is a form of stick fighting practiced by the coastal communities. Madagascar's capital city, Antananarivo, is known for its vibrant markets, historic sites, and colonial architecture. The traditional dish of Madagascar is called ramazava, a meat and vegetable stew cooked with spices. Fadi, a system of taboos and beliefs, plays a significant role in the daily lives of Malagasy people. Madagascar is a paradise for nature enthusiasts, with opportunities for hiking, wildlife spotting, and exploring national parks. The Tsingy Rouge in Madagascar is a unique geological formation featuring sharp red limestone pinnacles. Thanks for watching.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Anything jump out at y'all?
Lou, you know what? I ordered vanilla beans.
20 fascinating
from Madagascar to make my own vanilla extract.
Nice job. Isn't vanilla bean the most wonderful smell?
Yes, it is. I love it.
Oh my gosh, vanilla bean.
Yes.
Oh, why don't we grow that here? It's just the most aromatic, wonderful thing.
Maybe the soil isn't right.
How did you order it from Madagascar? I don't understand how that works.
Well, I ordered it through Amazon, and it came from Madagascar.
Oh.
Yeah, it came from Madagascar. So took a little while for it, before I received it, but it was worth it.
I was on a plane trip once, and a woman was coming from Madagascar, and she had vanilla bean. Oh my! She's passing it around the plane. That was so aromatic.
Yes. Yes. And I've had it now. I've made the extract about 2 years ago, and I still have it. So it's still, I guess, still brewing. I got the vanilla beans in the vodka, and a few of them I split them and opened them up and put them back in the vodka, and it works great. Worked out great.
So how does that work now? Because I never even heard of anybody doing that. Like, what's the process?
Well, you use vodka and you use vanilla beans. I saw it Ina Garden on the cooking show. She's that was the recipe to make vanilla extract. You use vanilla beans and vodka, and you put it in a dark place and you let it sit for months and months and months. And it, it's brewing and it's making the extract.
So when I buy vanilla extract at the store, is it made the same way?
Well, it has alcohol in it. I don't know if it's made the same way.
There are many different ways to ferment different things. So you could use another kind of liquor, another fermenting agent to do it. So there's many possibilities.
Well, maybe we should order some vanilla extract and like do it like a field trip or something.
And it's very
or a
expensive.
vanilla bean.
Yeah, vanilla itself is expensive. But if you look at Ina Garden on your internet, she tells you how to make vanilla extract. You use vodka, and you put it in a container with the beans in it. Let it sit.
Wow,
That's interesting.
That's really interesting. I want to grow vanilla bean though. I want to grow it. All right, well, let's continue on, Alex. We are trivia time. 5 minutes left. Alex, take us away.
Thank you so much, Lou, for presenting our session today, and I hope you all learned something new. Our trivia is going to be a review of what we learned today. So if you would like to answer the question, it's multiple choice, please raise your hand in Zoom. We'll take 3 participants for each question, and those that answer it correctly are in the running for an iPad for a prize today. So let's all raise our hands in Zoom. You can hit more at the top right and then hit raise hand, or you can hit reactions at the bottom. That is how you can provide us the letter answer of your choice. So again, we'll take 3 hands for each question. If you get it correctly, you're in the running for a prize today. Lou, real quick, can you mention our prize for today?
Oh, what is it? I'm not sure. Is it a ring?
Yes, Lou.
Oh yes. Well, I have some more of the Maasai rings, so we'll mail you a ring made by the Maasai in Kenya.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lou. So I see some hands. I saw we had about 3, 4, 5 hands. So again, we have almost 30 folks on. I want to hear from as many participants. And just by answering a question, you are in the running for a ring prize. Okay, so thank you all so much for participating. Let's all lower our hands. And Lou, we can get started with our trivia. So let's let Lou provide the question, and then you all can raise your hands.
What is the capital city of Madagascar? I think we know how to pronounce it now too.
Just letter answer, please. Okay, Brenda.
It's A.
Okay, thank you. All
Very
right.
good. Okay, I'm gonna go fast forward here.
Wait, Lou, we have to be close.
It's A.
We have 3 per answer, Lou.
3 per answer?
Yes, okay. And then I see we had Miss Dolores. Well, we have the answer on the screen. It is A. So Brenda, Miss Dolores, you are in the running for a prize today. And Gerald, thank you so much. It's 3 answers per question, Lou.
Okay. Next one. Here we go. Madagascar is the world's largest producer of which spice?
Okay, we have 3. So Yvonne, what is your answer?
Vanilla.
Okay, Gracie, what is your answer? Again, don't forget to
vanilla.
Yourself. Thank you so much. Okay, and then we have Anne.
Sarah.
Okay, Lou, let's see what the answer is.
Vanilla. Very good. Okay, now I get how this works, Alex. Okay, Madagascar produces 80% of the world's natural vanilla, making it a global leader in this high-demand spice. I want to grow me some vanilla. I'm really going to do it. I'm going to figure out how to do it. All right.
Let's make sure again to lower our hands and mute ourselves after we answer, please. Thank you so much.
Next question. Which colonial power ruled Madagascar until its independence in 1960?
Okay, one moment.
Oh, a lot of hands raised there.
Okay, so again, 3 folks. Let's see, we have Miss Jeanette. What do you say?
France.
Your answer choice. Okay, thank you. Let's see, Miss Linda, what do you say?
France.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. And we have Yvonne, what do you say?
Say France also.
Okay, what is our answer, Lou?
It is France. Madagascar was a French colony from 1896 until it gained independence in 1960. All right, good job. Here we go. Next one. What is the name of the large plateau that runs through the center of Madagascar? Well, this is a tough one. What is the name of the large plateau that runs through the center of Madagascar? I'm learning so much, Alex. This is such a wonderful series we have.
Thank you so much. Again, just waiting for some hands and thank you. 1 second, you all. Just making sure everything is good on our end. Thank you. All right, so we have Mr. Hare. I see the hand, Mr. Harrow. What's your answer choice?
Central Highlands.
Okay, thank you. All right, Brenda, what do you say?
I say A as well.
Okay, and Miss Wilda, what do you say?
A, yes.
Okay, let's see what the answer is, Lou.
It is Central Highlands are a key geographic feature of Madagascar with cooler temperatures compared to the coastal regions. All right, good job. All right, next question.
And our last one.
Which tree species is known for its unusual trunk shape, is iconic in Madagascar? Which one is it?
Okay, let's see some hands. Okay, Gracie, what do you say?
Baobab.
Okay, thank you. And let's see. Going through, just making sure everyone has a chance. All right. We have, let's see, Miss Geraldine, what do you say?
The baobab tree.
Okay, appreciate it. And our last hand, let's see. Okay, is Yvonne. What is your answer?
Letter D, baobab.
Okay, and just one more because we haven't heard from this person, but Miss Bertha, what do you say?
I say D.
Okay, thank you all so much. And that is
correct.
Answer.
Madagascar is home to 6 of the world's 8 species of baobab trees, known for their massive trunks that store water. Very good, very good. Okay, Alex, take us away. Take it away.
Thank you so much all for participating. Again, this is doing something new each and every week, so I hope you all enjoyed and learned more about Madagascar. We're going to go ahead and do our wheel. So let's see who wins the ring for today. So we have all of our participants that answered our questions. I really appreciate all the participation. Hope you like the different format for the questions. So let's see who wins a ring. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. All right, it was a close one. It's Miss Linda. Congratulations, Miss Linda.
Congratulations, Miss Linda. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for coming on, Miss Linda. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Alex, I really enjoyed that. I learned so much. Yeah, I love, I mentioned this last week, but it's so nice when you meet people. We live in DC. There's people from all over the world coming through here. It's so nice when you meet someone and you know a little bit about their country already because of this program. I mean, it is just really, really great. So thank you all for joining and being part of this.
Thank you all so much for joining you all. Next Wednesday, we'll be on another island for our month of islands with Lou. And make sure y'all come on for our 1:30 module today and our session on fruits and veggies tomorrow at 1:30. Thank you so much, Lou, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you,
See
Lou.
everybody.
Thank you,
Bye,
Lou.
everybody. Thanks,
you.
Alexander.
Thank
Thanks,
Glad to
everybody.
you.
see you here.
Carolyn,
Thank you,
Brenda,
Lou.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Carol,
Pat,
everybody. Thank you all.
Lucinda. Thank you for
Bye.
Get that
Hello.
vanilla,
Thank you,
Lou.
Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.